Hello students, welcome to the English classroom. Today's session we'll talk about presentation skills, and I'm Dr. Suchitra Singh, Assistant Professor of English from VGDC Vidyanagar. Before I start my class, let me talk about this picture. Now, whom do we see in this picture? This is Bill Gates, the Microsoft co-founder and chairman. Now, Bill Gates was an introvert, but later he became the Microsoft co-founder and has given many presentations for his company. Next, in this picture, we see Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. Now, he was also an introvert, and he once recalled that when he was asked to speak in front of public, his vision blurred and he trembled, though the speech was of only one paper. This is the picture of Abraham Lincoln, the President of United States of America. He too was an introvert and once declined the invitation to speak in front of people. But later on, these three great personalities have overcome their fear of public speaking and have given many presentations in their life. So my point over here is that even though you feel that you are nervous today and that you cannot give a presentation, please remove that fear out of you, because a careful planning and preparation can make you an effective presenter. So today in my class, I'll take you through of what presentation skills is, what is effective presentation skills, why do we need effective presentation skills, how we can go about improving our effective presentation skills, and what are the things that we should keep in mind to give an effective presentation. So to begin with, let us start with defining what exactly presentation skills mean. Presentation skills are nothing but they are the skills that you need in delivering effective and engaging presentation to a variety of audience. In other words, presenting an information clearly and effectively is a key skill in getting your message across. For example, if I want to give a presentation skill on, say, pollution, now how will I give? What is the message that I want to tell you by giving this presentation? So that how will I plan myself to give a good presentation in telling you that we all need to save our earth. Now, why do we need to train students, or why should we get ourselves trained in presentation skills? Now, this is a known fact that when we ask students to come and give a seminar presentation in the classroom, many of them dread to do so. No doubt they might be good at their studies, they might have knowledge, but they fear of coming and speaking in front of students. In the same way, many people feel nervous and terrified when asked to make the first impression. So, we need to train ourselves in presentation skills so that we can remove these initial fears and do a good research and prepare ourselves for making an effective presentation. So that is the reason we need to train ourselves in presentation skills. Now, why should we present at all? What is the importance of presentation? Now, the importance of presentation is to communicate complex information in simple and interesting way. For example, today we are all facing this pandemic of COVID-19. Now, we never knew anything about it, but then we have seen so many videos where they have given a presentation in what is COVID-19, how does it attack us, what are the precautions that we should take, and what is the treatment. So the complex information of science, which even a layman can understand through simple and interesting way. So that is the reason why presentation is important. where in a presentation we put forward our opinion and thoughts on the topic. Now, many of them have given their opinion, their thoughts on COVID-19, isn't it? So that is why you need a presentation. A presentation will develop our self-confidence, because when we present, we do a lot of research, and when we have a lot of knowledge by doing so much of research, our self-confidence will boost up. And then it gains real world skills such as the ability to present accomplishments and skills during job interview, right? Next is, we try to present to inform, to persuade, and to motivate the audience. For example, I want to give a presentation on pollution. I want to inform people how we are polluting the world. I want to persuade people to stop polluting the world. I want to motivate people to make this earth a better place to live, right? So that is the reason we need to present. Presentation is also to capture audience attention and maintain their interest through the entire oral presentation by defining the purpose clearly, right? I will define what I want to say very clearly, and I have to maintain your interest. Now, for a good presentation, we need an effective communication. Remember, effective presentation skills are important because they keep a presentation interesting. Now, to keep it interesting, you need to have good communication skills. When you have good communication skills, you can confidently put across your message or your ideas and share your ideas. Not only that, we can motivate the audience and generate enthusiasm among them, right? So that is the reason why we need this. Now, what are the essential elements for presentation? There are 4 essential elements that you need for a good presentation. First is confidence. That is, in a way, standing before a group of people to speak for a length of time and speaking with force and conviction. You need to have confidence. You need to have grip on the subject. Only then you can speak with force and conviction. If you have confidence, you will be able to convey what you want to convey to your audience. Next element that you need to have is sincerity. It can be nerve-wracking giving a presentation. So focus on your audience. Focus on what you believe with sincerity. Work towards it with sincerity. And you won't leave your message up in the air if you go about with sincerity. Next is mastery of the subject. This is a very essential element. A good speaker gathers more information that may be required for the speech. A good speaker looks at the topic from many points from different angles. And not only that, he also looks at the point from the opponent angle also. If somebody is disagreeing, you should look at that angle also. Only then you will have a thorough command over your subject, right? And when you have a mastery over your subject, then you will have confidence, then you will have conviction to speak, right? So this is another element that you need to have. And lastly, you need to have a friendly feeling for the audience. When you stand before your audience, many of whom are strangers to you. They may be strangers to you, right? But how you can make them align with you is that by radiating a friendly feeling. Then they will show interest towards listening to what you want to convey to them. Now, what is the purpose of presentation skill? Why do we present at all? First thing is, we present to inform. For example, I want to inform about the danger that is going to cause if we don't control pollution. Or I want to instruct about COVID-19. What are the precautionary measures you should take? How you should keep yourself social distancing to end this pandemic, right? Sometimes we can present to entertain, to remove you from the stress, right? That also we can do. Sometimes to inspire and motivate you, right? Like motivating you to do something, like supposing if somebody has faced lot of problems and then achieved success, through their success story they want to inspire people that nothing can stop you if you have a strong will. You also present to activate. For example, I am a woman. I want to give a presentation on woman empowerment, right? And through my presentation, I want to activate the people to treat women equally and empower them. So these are the reasons why we give our presentations. Now, what are the steps that we need to follow for effective presentation? There are three steps that we have to follow to make an effective presentation, and that is planning, preparation, and delivery, right? Now, what is planning? While you're planning, first thing that you'll have to see is analyze your audience. Who is your audience? To whom are you giving your presentation? Is it to your classmates? Is it to your teacher? Is it to your company? Is it to your client? So depending on to whom you're giving your presentation, you need to make your changes. Then why are they there? Why are they there? What they want to listen from you, that you have to plan. And how long will your presentation be? That also you have to plan. Select a topic that is of interest to the audience and to you. Don't select a topic which you are interested, but also see that the audience are also interested to listen to that topic. Then, once you select your topic, list out what is the purpose of your presentation. What do you want to convey to your audience? For example, my purpose of the presentation is on women empowerment. I want to convey to the audience that women should be treated equally. We both are made equal, right? And that how they can help out and make this society a better place to live for both men and women. So that is what I have to convey to my audience, right? Next is that preparation. So in preparation stage, what is it that you're going to do? Determine the purpose of your preparation and identify your objectives. What is your objective? For example, my objective for women empowerment is I want to see that men treat women equally. Women should be given equal status, right? Nobody is more or nobody is less. So this is what I want to convey in my objective. So your objective should be very clear, and what is it that you want to give as a takeaway for the audience. So you should know your audience, what they know, and what is it that different that you have to tell, right? Arrange your material in a way that makes sense for your objectives, because your material and your objectives both should synchronize, right? And compose your presentation in a very organized manner, okay? Only then you can give a good presentation. Then use visuals wisely. Visuals should complement your oral presentation, not that some picture you bring and keep over there. Whatever you are telling, your visual should complement to it. And then don't put everything on the visuals and read it out. No. Your slide should offer a brief summary or points in the form of bullets. Don't write everything and just read it, right? Know, consider your audience. Know your audience. Don't just bombard your audience with facts. Don't tell them what they already know. Saying that, don't just straight go to the point what they don't know. What you should know is that you should know to tell what they already know in a different way and then take them to what they don't know. That is, you should know to strike a balance in telling what they know and what they don't know, right? Next is that if you want to give an effective presentation, what you have to do is that you have to practice. Practice and practice and practice. Now, before I could come to give you this presentation, Even I had to practice, right? So practice with a friend, so that your friend can tell you where you're going wrong, what is it that is happening. Or practice in front of a mirror. Sometimes your image can tell you where you're going wrong. Now, what will happen is that when you are practicing, sometimes, you may feel nervous, you may lose hope. But please tell yourself that it is normal to be nervous. Learn to control your nervousness, right? And take a deep breath. Whenever you're feeling nervous, take a deep breath. Drink water if necessary, but practice makes a person perfect. Practice and practice and practice. Now, even before I could make this video, I had to practice 2 to 3 times so that I can do a better job while recording this video. So what we need to do is that we need to practice a lot. Then, while you're preparing, make the best use of technology. Today, you have no dread with your technology. You can use your technology and give some very effective presentations. So use your technology to the maximum, but don't rely on technology completely. Have a plan B if your technology fails. Most of the time, what happens in India is that our technology fails. In that way, you have to have your handouts, or you have your backup, so that on your laptop, which you can show it to your audience. So prepare yourself for your technology, and sometimes have your placards, so that even if your technology fails, you will be in a position to continue your presentation, right? So this is very, very essential when you are trying to make your presentation. Next is that don't get intimidated by looking at the audience. Sometimes, no matter how well you plan, how well you prepare, the moment you go onto the stage and look at the public, what will happen? You will lose your, you will get intimidated. You are frightened, and it looks like everything is blank and you have forgotten everything. But remember, you know that the audience do not know more than you know about your topic. You know what you're going to tell. They do not know. They have come there to listen to what is it that you're going to tell. So you know better what you're going to tell. And then don't treat them like strangers. Treat them as your friends. And how very openly you talk in front of your friends, present in the similar manner. Next is that create visual aids. Visual presentation is very, very important because picture speaks louder than words. And then practice your presentation. Don't forget to time it. Timing is very, very important. Sometimes what I see is that students prepare beautiful presentations, slides, but they are unable to complete their presentation because they get stuck. They don't practice with the timing, right? So make necessary arrangements. Look at the place where you're going to present, right? Go and practice in that place where you're presenting, so that you feel more comfortable on the day of the presentation, right? Practice again over there when nobody is there. Then, while presenting, your body language is very, very important. So you have to concentrate on your body language. Remember, always maintain a smile on your face, right? A smiling face is always appealing to look at, right? And keep the smile throughout. And smile does not mean you have to give a big grin. You have to have a pleasant, smiling face when you're talking. Don't lean on the podium or table. Keep yourself calm and composed. It is but natural to get nervous, but you should know that you should know to control your nervousness, right? And then maintain an eye contact with everyone you're speaking. You can get over this if you prepare and practice. If you practice well, you will not have any fear. Maybe initially you will have that little fear, but you can control once you start going off with your presentation, because you have already practiced and you have command over your topic. Use the physical space available to make small movements, right? Make small movements, move from here to there, right? So do that, make use of your physical movements. Then use your head movements, right? Keep moving your head, give expressions, give gestures. How will it look if I just sit stiff like this and speak out, give my lecture? People will lose interest. So you have, your facial expression is very, very important, because they will be looking at your face, and that can add weightage to your words that you're showing. Show that you are as enthusiastic as they are in giving out what you want to tell them, right? And what you don't have to do is, don't cross your arms and stand, because crossing your arms might also give the impression to your audience that you are unenthusiastic about your presentation or information, or that something is incorrect. So please don't cross your hands, right? Next is that avoiding eye contact. Now, most of them, because they are nervous, they try to avoid eye contact. They will be looking at their watch, or they will be looking down, or they will be looking at the screen, or they will be tapping their feet. Right? This behavior shows, it will give a look of unprofessionalism. So you have to present a professional look. So give your eye contact with your audience. Try to smile at them. Try to uh, show your interest, that you want to, you're genuinely interested in showing your enthusiasm in conveying your message, right? And avoid bad posture, like you can see in this image, like drooping your back and shoulders and your neck limping. It will definitely convey a weak message, and your audience might start thinking about your professional ethics, right? So try to avoid these things. Bad body movement. Now, I told you earlier, if there is a space, try to use that space, but that doesn't mean you keep walking back and forth, right? Don't make too many movements. Make small movements, right? And because if you give too many movements, that will give an odd feeling. Don't forget to smile, right? Keep smiling, right? Because that is where people will be looking at your face most of the time. Avoid putting your hands in the pockets. This is also an unprofessional behavior, right? So don't put your hands in the pocket. Try to stand with your hold your podium, and try to stand in a erect position, in a very relaxed manner. Try to give your presentation. Now, style. Most of them, what they try to do is that they try to imitate somebody else. Let me tell you, every one of us are unique in our own ways, and we have our own style. So keep your own style. Do not imitate others. Get inspiration from others, but do not imitate them, right? Be ready to answer your questions if somebody asks you questions. So you must be ready for that. Next is that while you're preparing, concentrate on the structure, right? Your presentation should have an introduction, a middle, and conclusion. In the introduction, you should be able to grab the audience attention. And in the middle, you should be able to conduct the topic in a relevant manner, right? You must take them from one point to another point. And in conclusion, you're going to give a takeaway message to the audience. So it should be very well structured, right? Then next is that your third part, that is your delivery. Now you're on the stage, right? So first 2 minutes count a lot. So in the very first 2 minutes, you should grab the attention of your audience. Make a good start. Sell your ideas. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Always use an overview slide to start your presentation so your audience know broadly what you're covering and how all the material you're going to present will fit together. How you're going to take them through the journey. Tell them so that they are prepared and they don't get confused, right? Now, the best technique is that start your presentation with a good quotation that is relevant to your topic, or start with an anecdote or a story, or you can arouse curiosity by asking questions. Now, how did I start? I showed some pictures and I asked you to identify who they are, and I told something about them. So you're wondering, why have I shown these pictures? What is it that I want to tell, right? So I have aroused the curiosity in you. So you should also try to do something like that, right? Arouse the curiosity. Then state the purpose and objective of your presentation. Why you, what you want to tell. Say woman empowerment, what is my purpose, what I'm going to tell, what I want my audience to take away, right? So make the audience identify with what you're explaining. Use examples from your own experience. That will be very, very effective, right? If you use examples from your own experience, it will be very effective. Then state the order. What is your objective? What are your main points? Show what is your general purpose and what is your specific purpose, and share your ideas so that the audience can be very clear with what you want to tell them, right? Next is that provide oral cues to show you're moving from one to another, from one point to another. Use examples and illustrations to support the message, right? Ask questions after each key area, right? So that you can keep your audience attention grabbed, right? And repeat the main points. So what you have to show is that you have to keep interacting with the audience now and then to show that you are enthusiastic, and also to keep your audience attention intact, right? So ask questions now and then to them, right? Then language. What is the language that you're going to use while you're giving your presentation? Don't try to use very high language like Shashi Tharoor. If somebody uses a language like Shashi Tharoor, it becomes difficult to understand what he's saying, right? So what you have to do is that neither use colloquial language that may put off the audience, right? So you have to use a acceptable conversational language, right? Use words that sound good. Go down to the level of your audience. If they are your classmates, then your level will be different. If they are your teachers, your level will be different. If you are giving a presentation in your company, then your level is different. If you are giving a presentation to a client, then your level is different. So you have to go down, or keep your language according to the level of the audience, right? And then pay attention to your tone. Your tone should be audible, right? And it should have some rhythm in it, right? Then concentrate on your voice. Regulate your breath. Project, don't shout, project, right? Vary your pitch, tone, and volume, right? You can't say one pace, I'm going to tell today, and in this very same pace, if I go, it will become monotonous, right? So sometimes you'll go high, sometimes you'll go low, right? Sometimes you'll be on the medium pace. Now, while you're giving your presentation, it is professional to pause at certain places, right? Pause at certain places and then continue your presentation. That will give a good professional look. Don't swallow the end of the words and sentences, okay? Don't swallow. Try to be slow but clear and audible, right? Because if you go too fast, your audience cannot understand you. If you go too slow, your audience will feel disinterested. So you should go in a very smooth manner so that you don't swallow the end of the words and sentences, right? That can only come when you practice. And tell them, make sure your content reflects your overview with clear signposts, so that good heading should be there, so that what objectives you gave and how you told you're taking them, the audience will know where they are in the presentation and what more is going to come. So you should be able to tell them in a very the in your presentation, your signposts or headings should be very clear, so that the audience will know where you are and how much more you have to tell. So give your presentation, and the middle, your content should be in such a way that you should be able to substantiate and validate your point of view, right? You are going to take them from what they know to what they don't know. What is the new thing that you want to convey to them? What is it that you want to give them to take away from your presentation? So you have to concentrate on all this. Then the last stage is close. Close on time. Always manage your time from introduction to body to conclusion, right? So you should see that how much time you're giving for introduction, how much time you have to give for your body, and how much time you have to give for your conclusion, right? So you have to practice that and make sure that you complete it on time. Then call your audience to action. Now, for example, if I want to give a presentation on women empowerment, what I have to do at the end is that I will, because I should not think, okay, I have explained so much, they have understood, now they will go home and they will work on, take the action of how to empower. No, it is not enough to assume that your message will inspire people to take action. You need to actually tell them to take action. You need to inspire them and motivate them that they will agree with your point, and then empower women, right? Refer back to the opening message. Tell them what you told them, right? Again, tell them, but in a different way you're going to tell them. So this is very, very important. Then next is that what you'll do is that don't end with questions. Don't end your question, your presentation with a question. Never do that. Always do the questions before you wrap up, right? So whatever question, because we said in between, you have to question your audience to gain their attention, right? So whatever questions you have, you do it before. Then make it clear that you have finished. Now, the way you're presenting, your presentation, your closing words should make it very clear that you are coming to the end of a presentation, right? The audience should be able to read this immediately and respond. Maybe, hopefully, with an applause, right? They will try to clap. Now, what you have to do is that at the end, close with a summary. Repeat the main points, right? Whatever you have done from the beginning to the end, not in the same words, but in different way, try to brush up them with what we have been going through all this while. You can also end with an anecdote related to the topic, right? Or add some humor also to it. So that also can be very, very effective. Then tell them uh, uh, tell them what you told them. Recap the material you covered in the conclusion that mirrors, right? As I told you earlier, that does not mean that you have to exactly replicate what all you told in the beginning. You have to give a overview of it, right? That also you should know how to make it very, very interesting, right? Say, for example, if somebody has given a presentation on COVID-19, right? Then how will you give an overview? Overview is, well, COVID-19 is nothing but it is a virus that is attacking people, and this is a virus that has that has spread and affected the world worldwide, and how this virus is attacking people. What are the measures that we can take, how we can protect ourselves by using sanitizers, by maintaining distance, by having using our what you say, masks, right? And only trying to go out when it is necessary, and not going out again and again. And then the takeaway is that it is in our hands that we can stop this pandemic by maintaining distance and following the precautions. So this way you can give a very beautiful conclusion, right? Now, so this is how you can go along with your presentation, which will have a planning, which will have a preparation, and then your final delivery. Now let us concentrate on the causes of ineffective presentations. No matter how much you prepare, how much you do your planning, sometimes people fail in their presentations. Now, why do they fail? The reasons we will just work out. First thing is that not engaging the audience in the beginning of the presentation. An effective presentation is only effective when you engage your audience from the beginning to the end, right? Then poorly organized information, no logical order or lack of clear purpose, poorly designed presentation material, that is poor color contrast, background design, font size, or incorrect or misleading graphs. Sometimes, you know, your graphs and your charts may not synchronize with what you're saying. So be very careful. Check whether your graphs, your charts, your visuals, everything is synchronizing. Okay, only then you can give a good presentation, right? Not preparing enough can also lead to ineffective presentation. Not familiarizing yourself with the venue and equipment, right? You have to go and see one day before. Otherwise, finally you go there and there is no projector, then you cannot give your this thing. Ignoring your audience, right? Using ineffective visuals. Your visuals should be very, very effective. Using inappropriate content. That is, your content should be in coherence with what you're talking. So do some research, right? What the audience already know, and what is it that you have to tell. Being too verbose, that is, try to limit yourself to few points. Don't take too long to get to the point, right? Come to the point in a very short time, right? And then, because you know that average span of adult is 15 to 20 minutes, so stick to the point, right? Think what they need to know and what they don't need to know, right? And not showing enthusiasm, right? Not showing eye contact also can be bad. Then using your visuals. Using good visuals will save time. A visual aid supplements words with pictures. Visuals will help retain information, right? Visual aids can deliver information more directly. So use good visuals. Visual aids also will help to improve the credibility of your message. So your PPT should be good. Don't have too many paragraphs. Don't put dark text, put a dark text on a light background, right? Avoid clutter. The best thumb rule is to keep it simple. Don't cram, okay? Don't cram. Limit it to bullets, right? So in that way, you can give a very good presentation. And lastly, your style. Let your style be your style, right? You have your own style. Don't try to copy others' style. As I said earlier, Take inspiration from them, but don't copy their style, right? Use words and sentences you use in normal days and be yourself. So in this way, you can have a good presentation, right? So all that you have to do is that to have an effective presentation, you should have good communication skills, and then you should have planning, you should have preparation, and finally your delivery. And then always supplement your presentation with a good PPT, right? Because pictures speak louder than words. So your PPT should be good. It should complement with what you're speaking, right? So in that way, you can show you can be a good communicator. So I think I have been very clear in explaining you what a good presentation is. So your takeoff from this presentation of mine is that you are going to make a good presentation on any topic that you like, and you will send those videos to the group, right? So this is your takeoff from my presentation. See, I am trying to convince you, and I'm giving you a takeoff from my presentation. And what is the takeoff? The takeoff is that you too can be an effective presenter. So you are going to make a good presentation and send it in the group. If you have any doubts, please put your questions in the group. I will clarify your doubts. Thank you very much. Stay safe and avoid going into public. Only if necessary you go. Wear your masks, maintain your distance. Thank you so much once again.